Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 28th, 2025 meeting of the Upper Darby Township Zoning Hearing Board. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you can all please stand. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. A few brief announcements before we get going with the agenda. First, there are going to be two continuances tonight. The first is for item 7-8 of 25 for the property at 841 Garrett Road. That matter is being opened and continued to the November 25th, 2025 meeting at 7 o'clock right here in this room. Next is application 9-3 of 25 for the property at 148 Garrett Road. That is also being opened tonight and continued to the November 25th, 2025 meeting date at 7 o'clock p.m. If any members of the public are here tonight for either the 841 or 148 Garrett Road applications, those will not be heard this evening, and you can come back on November 25th. In addition, the board met in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss legal issues related to the applications pending before the board tonight. And then lastly, just a few brief announcements regarding the meeting procedures, because I do see now, while it might not be as many folks as are typically at our meetings, because this is a somewhat light agenda, I do see many folks in the audience. So just very briefly, if you're not an applicant or an attorney or a witness for any of the applications tonight, there are two separate ways that you can participate. The first is public comment. Anyone here in attendance can make public comment with regard to any application before the board this evening. At the close of the applicant's presentation, at the close of the board's questions, I will make an announcement that if anyone here would like to make public comment, you can come up to the microphone, be sworn in, and you can say whatever you like, pro, con, or anywhere in between. However, if anyone has a more defined interest or more specialized interest in an application, you can alternatively request what is called party status. At the beginning of every application, I will make that announcement, and you come on up and explain why you believe that you are more impacted by a particular application than the average member of the public. Typically, that would involve something along the lines of how close your property is in proximity to the subject property. If you would like to request party status, we do have forms right in the corner over there. I'd ask that you pick up one of those, complete it, and give it to Josh, our zoning officer, who's sitting right over there in the corner. One other item of note before we get started, we are typically a three-member board. I am not a board member. I am the attorney for the board. The two gentlemen here sitting to my left are the zoning hearing board members tonight who will be deciding the application. Because we only have two members, any applicant before the board this evening will need an affirmative vote of 2. So you will need to have everyone here vote in your favor in order to get whatever relief that you're asking for. If any applicant, for whatever reason, doesn't like the odds, you prefer the third member here, then you can ask for a continuance. You can come back in November where we anticipate there being a full complement of board members. But otherwise, we do have a board tonight who is willing and ready to hear all 3 applications before us this evening. So with that, we're going to move forward through the agenda in the order in which the items appear on the agenda. So the very first item will be application number 9-2 of 25, property located at 151 South Bishop Avenue for the applicant WP Bishop Nuco LLC. If the applicant is here, you can please come on up and approach the lectern and get sworn in by our court reporter.
My name is Stuart Lundy. I'm the attorney for the applicant, and I will be speaking on behalf of the applicant. Although the applicant, Connor Woodward, is with me this evening. Would you like to swear us both in?
No, just the applicant will be fine. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yes. All right. And real briefly, just a procedural housekeeping matter. Going to mark a few items for the record. ZHB 1 will be the application packet. ZHB 2 will be the proof of posting, and ZHB 3 will be the proof of publication. I'm also going to mark as ZHB 4 a letter that we have dated September 19th, 2025 from Connor Woodward, extending the MPC timelines to allow for the hearing to be held tonight. So with that, sir, the floor is yours.
I brought with me tonight a small packet, which may be duplicative of what council has, but if I may approach the board,
Please.
I'll give copies.
Thank you,
Let me begin by saying this is an application for a sign variance. And right off the bat, as part of the exhibits we've given you, you'll see that in the back, there is not only a size of the existing sign, but the size of the new proposed sign. Now, there are two signs that we're asking for a variance for because this is 400 and some apartments on two streets. So we're asking for new signage at two locations. And the new sign, I'm happy to say, is smaller than the old sign, which has been there over 60 years, since the 1960s. And so I'm asking for the variance for a smaller sign, although it is sitting up on a small four brick foundation. But the sign itself, other than the 4 bricks, is smaller than the new sign, than the old sign. We've given you a map showing where the signs are going. They're the exact same location where the existing signage is. So I don't want to waste a lot of your time. I'll then direct you to the back of our packet here, and I've given you the signage for the Carroll House, the Parkwood Apartments, this is all in Upper Darby, and the Oakwood. These are the same signage that the board was kind enough to approve when we were here for 3 other applications. Except in this case, as I said, this sign is smaller than the one we're replacing, which in the other cases was not always the correct comment that I could have made. So without wasting your time, we're asking the board to approve this signage at these 2 locations on 2 streets for where signage that is smaller but slightly higher off the ground than the existing signage. And it's only slightly higher because it's 3 bricks up rather than embedded right on the grass where the existing signage is. There will be the same shrubbery and the same lighting, all within township regulations. And so that's our presentation for this evening. There's really not much else I can add, but I'm glad to take any questions the board might have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lundy. Just real briefly, I just want to mark the packet that applicant submitted as Exhibit A1. And then also, if you could just do me a favor and just have your the applicant just attest to your statements, and then I think the board might have some questions.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
Sure. If you just have your applicant swear to the testimony that you basically provided.
Yes.
Yep, that's all correct.
Okay, perfect. So real quick, do you have the size by chance? My math is terrible. The size of the current sign by chance?
Yes, when I multiplied the number out, it was 5244, and the new sign is 4424 square inches.
New sign's how large?
4424.
So the exhibit we have shows 29.33 square feet.
20, yeah, I just multiplied the 88 by 48. So I gave you inches just now, 29 by 33 in square footage. If you multiply 54 by 96, which is the size of the old signage, it will come out roughly 15% larger than the new signage.
Fair enough. Does the board have any questions for the applicant?
I'm a little, I didn't notice that you had previously included the park. I knew the Bishop Hill, but I didn't, the other Woodward properties.
Woodward Properties is the manager of the property. It's owned by WP Bishop Hill, an LLP limited partnership. Woodward Properties manages it for the partnership.
And just to confirm, the three photos to the rear of Exhibit A1, it's Parkwood Manor Apartments, Carroll House Apartments, and Oakwood Apartments. These are all signs that are going to be materially similar to what you're proposing here tonight, correct?
Yeah, they're identical, and they've all been up since January of 2025, when we first came before the board for their approval of this exact same signage. And all these buildings are managed by Woodward Properties, Inc. for the limited partnerships that owns it.
Thank you.
Bryce, could I provide just a little clarification? It's, what we're measuring isn't necessarily the size of the brick and mortar sign. When we're computing, we're measuring, right, the size of the letters. So,
Correct.
right, when it says, right, when it says double-sided panel 48 by 60, that's the sign of the actual letters, correct?
That's correct.
Right, so that is jumping, that's increasing, right? So 48 by 60,
Yes, if you take the
Is-
48 by 60, so if you look at the old signage, it's a large sign, but the lettering inside the large sign is smaller, okay, than the actual whole sign itself. When I made that comment to the board, what I was looking at was the entire side of the sign, not just where the signage was. If you look on the existing signage, you can see exactly what has been pointed out. There's it's a double sign. It's a sign with letters, okay, and then on a larger sign. I'm saying that the sign coming in is smaller than the whole larger sign it's replacing, not necessarily just the lettering.
right, I just want to be clear, just so we didn't drag you through this for no reason.
No, I understand.
That's the only reason. And the existing sign, the lettering, which is I think what the code speaks to. There's other pieces of the code that speak to the height and whatnot, but the lettering itself is going from about 20 square feet to 29 square feet.
Correct. So the lettering is bigger, but the overall signage is smaller.
Josh, I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
My only question is about the lighting. I think you referenced some regarding the lighting. Is the sign itself illuminated? Like, do you have to run power? Because I know the current sign isn't, right? It's not illuminated, or is it?
These signs are not lit from within.
Okay. So you don't have to run any power?
Not at all, no.
I don't have more questions.
I don't either. You want to-
All right. So at this point, is there anyone in the audience who would like to make public comment as related to this application? All right. Seeing none, I think at this point it would be appropriate for us to close the record and for the board to make a motion.
Go ahead.
I make a motion to approve this application.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. You'll get a
Very
formal,
much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time.
you'll get a
Thank you.
written decision from my office within 45 days. Hope you have a good night.
Good night. Thanks, Josh.
Moving on, next on the agenda, if I can find my copy. Will be number 9-7 of 25 for the property at 0 Bridge Street, AKA 3888 Dennison Avenue.
Good evening.
Evening. And we're going to mark a few exhibits here, just ZHB1 is going to be the application package, ZHB2 will be the proof of posting, and ZHB3 will be the proof of publication. Sir, if you have any witnesses, I think now might be the time.
Yeah, I'd like to swear in the owner, Greg Murray from Murr NGU LLC, as well as our engineer from Kelly Engineers, Mr. Matt Burns.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Attorney Joseph Console. Console, Console.
Yes.
And is there any member of the public who would like to request party status as related to application 9-7 of 25? Seeing none? All right, sir, the floor is yours.
Could I hand up just a couple of things first? Okay. One site plan. Share. I have more. Folks up there, but
Just to confirm, is this the same application packet that you submitted? I don't have the exact date in front of me. But
it is.
okay, well, we'll mark it anyway. This will be applicant's exhibit A1. I'll distribute that to the board. And this plan will be one sheet sketch plan. That'll be exhibit A2.
All right. Good evening, members of the board. Joe Consul here, attorney for the applicant owner, Murr NGU LLC. As mentioned, Mr. Greg Murray, the representative of the ownership entity, and the professional engineer, Mr. Matt Burns, are with me tonight. We're here tonight for the property identified in the public notice as 0 Bridge Street /3888 Dennison Avenue. It's parcel ID 16130092500. It is a somewhat irregularly shaped corner lot. It's just slightly over 6,000 square feet, located in the R3 district. It's got frontage on both Dennison Avenue and Bridge Street. We are proposing to subdivide this single parcel into 2 separate lots for the construction of 2 new semi-detached twin homes. So a total of 4 homes over 2 lots, each with its own internal garage, driveway, and landscaped privacy buffers. As the public notice states, the proposal requires dimensional variances from section 550-15D for the following. On lot 1, a variance to permit a lot size of 3,715 feet, where 6,000 would be required. And for lot 2, a variance to permit a lot size of 2,368 feet, again, where 6,000 is required. And for both lots, we're seeking a variance to permit a front yard setback of 0 feet from Bridge Street, where 20 feet is required by code. The hardship tonight that brings us before you guys is classic and not demonstrable and not self-created. It's rooted in the characteristics of the lot itself. As you'll see in the engineer's testimony, it's a somewhat irregular corner parcel and much larger than neighboring parcels. The township code requires front yard setbacks from both street frontages, Dennison Avenue and Bridge Street. It'd be impossible to develop a property on this lot that would conform with those required setbacks from both of those street frontages that would comply with the code. We believe the hardships inherent in the land, being able to divide this lot up into 2 lots that are of a piece with the neighboring lots, and in addition to that, contain more than adequate parking. We believe this will be not only not a detriment, but a public benefit. It's critical to note the 2 twins that we're proposing on each lot is permitted by right use in this district. There's no use variances being requested, only dimensional variances for the lots themselves. The resulting homes will otherwise conform to all bulk, height, and setback requirements as noted on the sketch plan. I will call Matt to just answer a few questions as a professional engineer, speak about the project, and then any questions that you all have, we can discuss them.
Thank you. Good evening.
Please state your name, professional title, and business address for the record.
Matthew Burns, project engineer, professional engineer at Kelly Engineers and Surveyors, located at 30 LaCrue Avenue in Glen Mills, PA 19342.
All right, are you a licensed professional engineer in the Commonwealth?
Yes,
Did you prepare the sketch plan dated July 23rd, 2023, marked as Exhibit C1? Or is it 25?
2025.
2020, it's up to you.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
2025. And you're familiar with the property known as 0 Bridge Street?
Yes.
Can you describe for the board the existing conditions of that lot?
So it's an empty lot as it currently stands, and with the proposed improvements to, as shown, 2 twin units with common area for parking and a proposed stormwater management area underneath the parking to the north.
And to be clear, these two semi-detached twin homes are permitted by right use in this district
Correct.
if we were to get the subdivision approved? And will the resulting homes conform to all other code requirements for the district, such as building height?
Yes.
Okay. In your professional opinion, are the resulting lot sizes of 3,700 and 2,400 approximate square feet in keeping with the character of the neighborhood and lot sizes of immediate properties?
I would agree, yes.
Okay. In developing this plan, did you and the owner have any discussions with the Upper Darby Township zoning officer?
Yes, we've gone through various iterations, met with your zoning officer to come up with the best layout, most attractive for the township and the client.
Okay. And revisions of plans were made based on those discussions?
Correct.
Okay. Could you briefly touch on the parking plan for the project?
So each unit will house a tuck under garage with 2 parking spaces in each unit, along with 5 additional parking spaces on off-street parking.
What measures are being taken in the plan to buffer this project from the adjacent neighbors?
The corner lot will have a landscape buffer, which will not negatively impact any site distance.
Can you explain to the board why a 0-foot front setback is required along Bridge Street?
So the twin units are minimal in size, and to push them back any further would encroach into the rear yard setback. So we intend to keep with the characteristic of the block itself and have them as twin units located on the front of the street.
And finally, in your opinion, is this the minimum relief necessary to achieve a reasonable use of this property?
Yes.
Nothing further.
So just a few quick questions for clarification purposes. The garages, would they be accessible to the rear of each unit or from the roadway?
To the rear.
And in terms of, just from, I guess, a practical or legal way, how is this going to function? Are there going to be easements for stormwater and for access and parking? Is this going to be a small HOA? How do you envision that?
We discussed that, and yes, there would have to be some sort of shared agreement for the shared driveway along with the stormwater system.
And this is also part of a proposed subdivision, is that right?
Yes.
So obviously the applicant understands you have to go through the subdivision land development process, which will require obviously additional application for the township, correct?
Correct.
We understand that.
So if the board has any questions, I think now would be the time.
Do you have any, well, actually, I have 2 questions. Do you have any photos of the frontage of the street or any depictions of that looks like?
If you look in the packet that I handed out, there's photos. They're admittedly, they're not super large, but it should give you an idea.
I'm trying to get a sense of like, so the yellow is that's the front of the residential homes. They're fronting on the street, not the parking, right?
Correct. Yes. So that yellow is the proposed sidewalk.
Okay. And what's that, Josh?
Getting the CAD treatment.
And so I guess what do we want to call that? Burnt orange, whatever color that is, of the actual structures. Is that representation including like what the porch area would be, or does that not include a porch area? Is that door opening onto the sidewalk?
Yeah, that would probably include the porch area.
Okay,
We
that's
don't-
what I was trying to orient myself to.
Yeah, we don't have architecturals at this time, but that would be something that we would bring to the board.
Okay.
To show them during the subdivision land development application.
Got it. Okay.
I can't think of.
And the intent here is for, oh. Like I said, the intent here is for these to be two separately deeded structures?
Yes.
Or duplexes, I guess?
Yes.
Who takes care of the
The stormwater?
greenery area?
Oh. That's a good-
As discussed, there's going to have to be, what would you call it? Some, yeah, some kind of an HOA that tends it, that's the responsibility of the owner of each of the two properties. Along with the driveway. I mean, yeah, you could testify to that if you
So
like.
we own the property next door, adjacent, right next, 388 Dennison.
Okay.
And we have property management there also. We have 4 units that are there, and then we have landscapers that take care of, the landscaping there. So they would do they would take care of that. So as the owner, we would take care of it. The landscape.
And I know you said that you don't have architectural yet, but is it intent for the I guess the exterior structural design to match the rest of the residential houses on the block there?
Yeah, we would try to keep them as what's there now, as much as possible, to keep it on the block there, to keep it, pretty much the same, but obviously, a little fresher look. But yeah, yes, we would keep it the same as the block that's there now.
Does the board have any more questions?
No.
All right. So at this point, is there any public comment related to this application? Seeing none, does the applicant have anything else to introduce or at this time, or are we good to rest?
Well, we do not have anything else to introduce.
Perfect. So at this point, the board will close the record, and I believe it's either time for a motion or maybe a brief executive session to discuss the project. All right, so we're going to take a brief recess, and we'll be right back. Thanks. Let the record reflect that the board returned from a brief executive session to discuss legal issues related to the project. At this point, I believe a motion would be appropriate.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, your relief is approved. You'll get a formal written decision from my office within 45 days.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Have
a
a
good
nice
night.
evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can take that.
Thanks, Josh.
Much of that
Thank
milk is souvenir.
Yep, thank you.
You too. Last but not least, application 10-1 of 25 for Callan Joseph Grant, 1220 Hollywood Avenue, Havertown. All right, I'm going to,
Good evening, board and
good
solicitor.
evening, folks. I'm going to mark a few exhibits. We've got ZHB1, which is the application package, ZHB2, which is the proof of posting, and ZHB3, which is the proof of publication. Is there anyone in attendance tonight who would like to request party status related to this application? Seeing none. All right. Do we want to maybe swear in your witness
Yes,
first?
if you could swear, Mr. Grant.
Counsel, floor is yours.
Good evening, Pat Hennigan here on behalf of Mr. Grant. This is kind of a strange situation in that Mr. Grant, when the property was marketed, it was marketed as a multifamily dwelling. He went and inspected and viewed the property, and it was set up as a triplex. There were 3 apartments already in the structure. We've included with our application the floor plan that shows the current configuration with 3 apartments in the building. Mr. Grant did not become aware of any issues with the property until he went to get a permit to do some demolition and to renovate the apartments. At that time, he was told that it was only zoned for a duplex. Mr. Grant is not only purchasing the property and going to renovate it, he intends to be occupying the property also. So that was part of his plan in buying the building, that he would be able to renovate one of the units for himself. So we're here today asking for use variance to allow the property to be used as a triplex. My understanding is that each of the apartments, as currently set up, does meet all the zoning requirements. If there are any zoning requirements that need to be, any changes that need to be made to meet the zoning requirements, Mr. Cowan will do that as the renovation and construction permits are issued. We do also have, I have a couple documents here. The board may be concerned about parking situations, if I may.
Yeah, please, come on up.
So I have a photograph, then a plot plan, and a second photograph. The apartments currently have 2 garages, which are reflected there. There is ample parking around it, but also, as the plot shows, there is a contiguous, very small plot that Mr. Grant purchased also that is vacant, that would be used for parking for the structure. So there would be an additional at least 2 parking spaces available, which would meet the requirements for the multifamily use, or it would be two spots for each unit.
Real briefly, the 3-page packet that the applicant passed up will be marked as Exhibit A1, and that'll be accepted into evidence. With respect to the plot of land that you mentioned, where is that in relation to the existing building and the existing driveway?
It's on the plot line, you can see it, it's right on the property line. It's this, there's a small plot, I don't know why it still exists that way, but it does, and it is directly adjacent to the property.
Okay. All right. And I'm looking at the what was that? I was looking at the existing interior plans here. It looks like each of the units is a two-bedroom unit.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, the demolition permits that you mentioned, what types of renovation? Would it be anything that would change the layout of either of the units, or is it just kind of refurbishing them and updating them?
If I may defer to
Please.
Mr. Grant, if you can say what your plans are.
I'm going to
On
like pull out,
the microphone.
I'm not going to like pull out everything, do the floors, do the kitchens, bathrooms. I'm just going to do everything new.
Okay.
Could you talk into the mic more clearly?
I am going to tear out everything, flooring, bathrooms, kitchens, everything's going to be new. Just
How about in terms of the actual layout, the number of bedrooms?
they will
and
be
bathrooms?
staying that they're like same way.
And Mr. Hennigan, if you could do me a favor and just have your witness attest to your statements for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Grant, you were here when I was speaking to the board. Do you attest that what I said is accurate, an accurate history as to this transaction?
Yes, that is.
And just to confirm, so there's no changes that are proposed in terms of the layout of the units or any exterior modifications, apart from potentially adding additional parking along the property that you identified?
That's correct.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for the applicant or his counsel?
So that, I guess this is for council, or either, actually. When the applicant acquired the property, did the applicant receive a use certification or some type of property certification as part of that transaction regarding the use?
It was not what included in what the title company sent to me, whether it was something that was handed, a hard copy to Mr. Grant. Once again, I would,
That was like sold as.
okay, he's saying
Sorry, I didn't,
it was just sold as is. So he bought it as is without
Well,
any requirement.
I think the question specifically was, Mr. Grant, did you receive anything from the seller or from the township, any sort of use and occupancy permit or certificate of occupancy?
No.
Okay.
and my second question is regarding, you referenced I guess this separate lot that's adjacent to the property line. Is the intent, is it currently a separate deeded lot?
It is, yes.
And is the intent to consolidate the lot or the two lots together at some point?
I don't know if it may be easier to just grant an easement for use of the lot rather than consolidate. But we certainly will formally make that lot available for the tenant use.
And would the applicant be receptive if the board is inclined to approve the application of a condition regarding some type of agreement between the lots if they're not consolidated?
Certainly, absolutely. Consolidation is just a little more difficult process than.
Does the board have any further questions? Is there any public comment related to this application? Seeing none? All right, so unless the applicant has anything else to offer, I believe
We would rest.
perfect. The board will close the record and will retire for a brief executive session to discuss the application. Okay, the board has returned from a brief executive session, and at this point, I believe a motion is in order.
I make a motion to approve the application on the following two conditions. Condition one, that the applicant record an easement against the property with property ID number 160800907-79 in favor of the subject property for parking and/or turnaround space. That runs with the land is irrevocable. And the second condition is that the applicant pulls necessary permits to legalize any unpermitted work that resulted in the property being a triplex, including all necessary inspections from the township that would come along with those required permits.
The only modification I make to that is that the proposed easement would have to be approved by the township solicitor.
Okay,
You're okay with that, Steve?
I am.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, sir. Your application has been approved. You'll be receiving a written decision from my office within the next 45 days.
okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Have a good night. Take care.
Good evening.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
We need a second.
Too early.
Need that second, Bob.